Do you remember when you were a kid and you were stuck on that one level? Or maybe it was that one boss that had way too many phases and would wipe the floor with you. But one day you finally passed it, and the feeling of pure joy is incomparable. Pogo Stuck encapsulates that feeling perfectly. Every little accomplishment brings more pleasure the more times you failed to grasp it, until eventually it hits you like a fucking
Grab my stick and jump ahead to the top of the hill, or better off instead this mountain. Climb this mountain. With any luck, I won't get stuck on this mountain.
Wait, maybe actually though.
It's all the
we
rage
keep
howling
wall
through
hopping
the
on the
woods,
right
over
side?
fields and crags.
Oh.
No, we can do it, we can do
So
it.
we're so high.
Oh, this mountain. I did it! Better spending all my days on this mountain.
Don't mind the shit.
Gonna have a good time just hanging with you on this mountain.
You're
Climb this
cool.
mountain. You'll rage
up.
with your
Oh,
friends,
fuck.
but never ends on this mountain.
The premise of Pogo Stuck is that you control an odd character and you have to climb using weird and uncomfortable movement mechanics. So why is that, with all these other popular and in their own rights good games, do I consider Pogo Stuck the best? Now, if I was a game journalist and I wasn't stressing out about losing my job to AI, I would probably compare Pogo Stuck to Dark Souls, not elaborate at all, and go back to playing farming sims on my wife's boyfriend's Switch. But I fucking promise you, there's no enemy, no boss that instilled more fear into me than this fucking axe.
Fuck!
So let's delve a bit deeper on the reasons why this game is such a fucking banger. Pogo Stuck is objectively a harder game than Getting Over It or Jump King. That's just a fact. But why does that make the game better? For one, the game's difficulty curve is much more engaging. Let's look at one small example of this. The movement in Getting Over It and Jump King allows you to set up what you want to do precisely. In Pogo Stuck, the only rest you have is if you click escape, because during the game you can't stop jumping. This is a mechanic that at first is extremely painful, but eventually you don't even notice that you're doing it. A consequence of this mechanic is the fact that you can't properly set up your jump unless you know exactly what you're doing. Whereas in Jump King or Getting Over It, you would just have to be very careful with how you move to be able to properly set up shit. You really sometimes don't notice how good you got at the game after playing it for some time. Like for example, when playing map 3 on the last 10%, I would always go to the left path, but on the time I completed it, I failed my last jump and had to save myself by going to the right. And on my first attempt on that side, I completed the level. The game is so fucking good, I swear. Pogo Stuck also keeps things fresh the higher up you go, making the new areas feel unique and fun in their own way. It starts with just normal geometric changes of the map, then adds mushrooms, honey, more mushrooms, ice, and the fucking egg. For map 2, you have moving obstacles, these fucking rings, the aforementioned axe, these really fun gravity wells, and lastly, breaking objects. For map 3, you have the addition of water, use of previous mechanics in different ways, and these dope fucking rings that make you go whoosh. Side note, I just wanted to mention that somehow a guy didn't enjoy the gravity mechanic in map 2, so he wrote his thoughts on the Steam Pogo Stuck page, and this one guy, Breton, wrote a comment to shit on the guy complaining. I looked around some more and it turns out this Breton guy is on every forum post shitting on people for complaining or being lazy. Quite funny. A really big reason why I also enjoyed playing the game is that it is something you can do while watching YouTube or doing literally anything else. I beat the first map while in class.
Meio material para se propagar, que sabemos que as radiações se propagam no vácuo.
I beat the second map while listening to an indie artist I enjoy. I beat Invisible Mode while watching Elite 500 and got Mastery while watching a Shinshin. Yeah. Another big reason that I feel is overlooked when people praise this game is its multiplayer.
When I first played Pogo Stuck, I did not enjoy the game and I thought the game was poo-poo and dog water and horrible, so I refunded it. A couple months later though, a friend asked me to play it again, so I was like, okay, sure, why not? And lo and behold, playing the game with a friend was way better than playing it alone. So, thank you Supercoo for making the game multiplayer. The game is very fun with friends, and Rubber Band Mode is the GOAT.
Let's fucking go!
The first time I played Pogo Stuck was me playing the skating mode with my friends and having a blast. And only afterwards did I actually start playing the main game. Rubber banding is also incredibly fun if you have the people that are willing to share the pain of climbing the mountain. Playing with friends is the highlight of this game, and it's a feature that the other two games do not share. The ability to see other players struggling alongside you makes the game feel more alive. And at least for me, it also motivates you to climb because you want to reach the top before the other players do. Now it's time to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Supercoo. When I saw what this guy has been doing, he became my favorite game dev. First of all, he added Map 2 for free when he could have easily made it a DLC you have to pay for, but nah. He said it will be the last addition to the game and that he won't do any more major updates. He proceeded to add some more modes in the following updates as a nice surprise that people weren't expecting, and then dropped the bombshell that is Map 3. Once again, he could have added this as a paid DLC, but he made it available as a free update. He kept adding small modes to this map, and out of nowhere, he just released a new bonus map for Halloween. But most importantly, he had the ability to create and play custom maps. A thing he said he will most likely not do because it would require a ton of work. Not only is Supercoo insane at creating free updates for the game, he is also very active in the community. If you go to the Steam forums and find a post about someone experiencing a technical difficulty, you will 100% see Supercoo in the replies, helping out at most times on the very same day the post was made. Oh, hey look, it's a break! In the 87 hours that it took me to beat Pogo Stuck, I was put through an absolute ringer of emotion. Anger as I was beaten down by its toughest challenges. Exhilaration when I finally overcame them. And a fair amount of sorrow for the mountains of EXP I lost along the way to some of its toughest boss encounters. Ah, fuck! This is a review of Elden Ring by IGN! Why is it so hard not to compare a game to fucking Dark Souls? Disclaimer, if you do get the game, know that there will be times where you will rage, where you will have to spend hours on one single jump. But in my opinion, the payoff is 100% worth it.
Ficar em casa à noite, perder a lua para ser fã de algo que não gosto, mas que não me dá trabalho. A vida eu oriento, a minha vida eu embaralho. A minha vida eu baralho. A minha vida eu...
I left my home to travel through sun and rain and snow, and the joy